Hello there, welcome back. Thanks for being here. So, in our last lecture, we have created a Maven project and we have included the required dependencies in order to work with the WireMock stub creation. So, we have had two dependencies. One is WireMock JRE8. So, that actually helps us to create a WireMock server instance dynamically in different ports with a lot of other options that we would be seeing in our future lectures. And we also have included a dependency which is standalone. So we have already worked with the standalone server, but we have started manually, but we have tested through Postman. Even the stub creation process and the stub verification process has happened through manually. And now when you're actually working with the process of automation, when you're creating programmatically, so how do you test it? So because if you test this with automation programmatically and you test with a Postman, that is not a complete automation flow. It is again a mixed flow, and that is not going to add any value. So that is the reason I have included rest assured dependency to test that particular stubbed API. So you can also use Karate. So Karate complete lecture was given by me in one of my previous playlist. You can find in the channel link that I would be leaving in this description. So you can use Karate as well to test it. That would be very simpler. But in order to see something new this time, so I have added rest assured. So I'm not gonna go deep into that rest assured, but I'll ensure like whatever the piece that I'm covering, I ensure I make you guys understand and you guys travel with me on that particular aspect. So before we actually get into this part, let us have a quick look at the documentation, like how this can be really done through automation, like how you can achieve this through programmatically. So you have a basic at test method. This is helping us to create a stub, the example test method. So if you see, there are different methods, like stub for is a method, it is accepting some parameter, and get is a method, with header, will return. So these are all methods which are present in the WireMock class. So if you go to the Maven dependency, you can see all these methods found. These are static methods. So with the help of these methods, you can create a stub with different characteristics, and you can test accordingly through rest assured. So before we actually get into the testing part, let me start the WireMock server. So we already know that the standalone server is already downloaded to our local. So let me start. This is a prerequisite, guys. So without starting this server, you will not be able to create a stub. It says that connection refused, or host cannot be connected, some socket exception we are going to see. So now WireMock server is started and it is running successfully in port 8080. So now let me create a class to write a stub and test as well. So in the src test java, in the com.org.wm underscore stub testing package. So let me create a new class, and I would be calling that class as create mapping for now. And I'm not including main method there because we'll be working with JUnit to run that particular test. So in order to work with the WireMock stub creation and the stub testing, so there are three things involved. So first one is start WireMock server. So that is already done. And second thing is create a stub. So we'll be seeing in a moment, and then test that through rest assured. So that we'll be seeing little later. Like once we are done with the stub creation, then we'll see how we can really test it. So WireMock server is already started. So we have started the standalone server. So that is running in port number 8080. So let us not bother about it. That process is already done. And now what I'll be doing in the sense, I'll create a method. So which says public void create stub. So this is my method. And in this method, so I'll be starting with the methods what it was shown in the documentation part. So let me call this stub for method, because we have already added the WireMock dependencies. So all those methods should be available to me by now. So let me write stub for and give control space. I don't see any suggestions given by the Eclipse. Let us understand why. So let me go to the Maven dependencies part, and let me find the WireMock JRE 2.27 jar. So in that, if you have a package called WireMock client, so in that WireMock client you have a class called WireMock class. So wiremock class has all the methods that will actually help you to write a stub. If you just give a control O, so you have a create method, wiremock, you have a load construct you have a various constructors, overloaded constructor, one take port number and one take host and port, and you have given that which is actually accepting a mapping builder. You have a stub for method and edit stub, remove stub, so all the possible operations. You have configure for, and you have something called get, post. So everything that you have in this class, you see you have a post method as well. But if you see, every method is a static method. So every method is a static method. So what we need to do, we need to import this particular class into our class file, so that we can actually make use of these methods. So this is the package I'm going to import. So since all these are static methods, let me just import statically. So import static, and just copy paste this. And if you give a dot and control space, just a moment, just if I just erase this one, and you give one moment guys, I think there is an error here. So let me just give enter. Yeah, so client is the package that I would like to have. And if you see, you have so many other things as well. So let me have wiremock, and if I give dot, I have a post and I have stub for. So I have recording all those methods. So I'm actually doing a static import of these methods. So if I wanted to have everything in place, say for example, now I'll just mention stub for. So now the moment I mention stub for, you see it has actually suggested for me. So now you have the stub for suggestion is given by the Eclipse, and it is actually trying to take a mapping builder. And now let us actually create one thing called get. So I'm just trying to create a stub that actually works with the get call, and it will throw some basic response, status code as 200 and some body message. Okay, so that's the stage for this lecture. So now again, when I just give get, so when I just give control space, I don't have any suggestion. So in order to do this, what I have to do, so I have to again import the get method. So let me just copy this line and paste it here. This time instead of stub, I will just specify get. So the moment I specified get, if I just give control space, so I have this suggestion. So get method is actually suggested by Eclipse now, and if you see, the error has gone. But if you keep on adding one static import for each and everything, so you'll end up having many import statements, which is not that readable. So what I'll do, let me just create a star and then put a semicolon, so that now every static method that I have in wiremock class will be loading into my particular class. So now what I would say, get of URL equals to, so the URL I would just name it as API slash services. This would be my URL. So when I'm creating a stub and the method is get and the endpoint is this one, now what I'll do, it will return a response. A response is another method, so it will return a response. Let me just hit enter. Just one moment guys. So it will return, so it'll return me some response. Yeah, so if you go here, there would be a method called a response. So I'm actually trying to call that method. Yeah, so a response dot status, with status would be 200, and now with body, so I wanted to return a basic body as maybe let me just put something called this is basic stub. Yeah, so let me just put the quote again, and now this is there is a small thing. I think it is not actually the right method. So guys, there are so many overloaded methods, so you need to make sure that you are actually calling the right method in order to create a sub. And maybe if you wanted to have a headers, so you can have a method called headers, so that I would be specifying as content type, and the value would be application slash JSON. And I think again there is a problem. I think are we really short of one parenthesis? Let me just quickly check. Not really. So let me just make sure that I have a right status. Will return a response, and I think I should have here, and with body. So now, yeah, so the mistake that I've done was like I'm actually so whatever the response that I would like to serve should be written in the will return method. So I'm trying to call this method outside of it, so that is the reason I'm not getting. So with body, now I'll be calling it as this is sample response. So this is the response I would like to return, and header if you would like to specify, so that you can specify as well. So let me just move it to another line. So this would be content type, and the value should be application slash JSON. So no problem guys, I'll just explain in detail like what I have been doing in this particular operation, like how my stub is being created, and then we'll see how we can proceed from there. Yeah, so I think we are done with, I think these parameters are enough. So let me quickly close this parenthesis as well. So this is the basic stub that I've created. So if I wanted to explain this stub, so the stub is actually accepting a context URL which is /API/services. So right after localhost colon 8080, you need to append this context URL that you have seen in the Postman. And when you hit this particular endpoint with the get call, it will return a response with status as 200, and the body is a sample response, and header is content type, which is application slash JSON. This is my stub right now. So now my stub has actually been created. Now I should have a test to test this particular stub. So I would say public void verify stub. So verify stub is going to be my method name. So in this particular method, I would be writing my rest assured script, so that the rest assured script will actually invoke that stub, and then we will be testing it. Okay, so let me add JUnit 4 library. So I am going to have this as a JUnit test. So in this particular test method, first I need to create a stub. So the method that is already there for create stub should be called here. So I will call this method. So create stub. So this method will help me creating the method. So when my attest starts, the very first operation that actually happens is that, so this line will create a stub for me. This line will create a stub for me, and let me see how do I test it. So rest assured dot base URI. So rest assured dot base URI is the base URI is the parameter that you need to test when you are working with rest assured, because you need to set the base URI, and then you should tell which HTTP method, and then you need to grab the response and put in a lot of different validations. So in this case, our URI would be http colon localhost colon 8080. So this is our actual URI, so base URI. And now in rest assured, you have something called given. So this would be working as a BDD scenario. This BDD syntax, this test case would be very readable. So even if you do not have a prior rest assured knowledge, I'm sure that you are going to follow me. Just stay focused. It would be very easy. So rest assured given, I wanted to say just log all. So log all are the methods which will actually help me to log all the messages. So if at all my test case fails, I'll understand, okay, what has gone wrong, so why my test case has actually failed, so what should I be doing. So in order to print all those messages to my console, I need to have this in place. And dot so the method would be get is the method, and here I need to pass that particular endpoint. So API/services is my endpoint, because you have seen that this is the context URL. So that endpoint I have actually specified. When, maybe I would write this here, when. So just to make this test case more readable, so given I have logging enabled, when I do a get call to this particular API, then assert that status code is 200. So this is how you can actually verify test case. Yeah. So now we have wiremock already started and it is running in this particular port, and we have method created that will help us to create a stub for us, and we have a rest assured script designed too. Once we hit this one, once we run this JUnit test, it should create a stub for me, and it should test and pass the test case as well. Let me run this as a JUnit and let me click OK. So by now test case should have started invoking and it is being executed. Let me see. So I think there is a problem with the Hamcrest matcher exception. So other classes in the same package, signer information. So I'm really not sure like what is this particular so before that, so we have another way of creating also. Let me just do it. Let me just end up this particular operation here. So when I just do this one, so let me just do a control to L, so just to store a response. So this would return me a response. So this response, I would say response dot get status code. Get status code is a method to get the status code, and let me really print what is the status code for that. So let me print status code. So let me run this test case again. So please verify if there are any spelling mistakes. I think the endpoint has actually gone wrong, so that is the reason. So there is nothing to do with the one that we have erased. So in order to make this very simpler, I have just modified the code. So the test case has actually passed, and if I go to the console, you see the log messages are really printed, and if you have a log all, this is the advantage, guys. So it will actually tell you what is the request method that you have worked with and what is the URI, and if you have a proxy settings, if you have any parameters, if you have any headers, all that, and you see the body has printed. Now let us verify some more. Let us put in some more validations. Yeah. So in this particular test case, I wanted to verify the content type is really application/JSON. So response is my JSON response dot get content type. So get content type is the method, and if I do control to L, and it is storing in that particular variable, and if I give sys out, so let me print content type as well. Let me print content type as well, and also let me print the body message response dot pretty print. So this will actually help me to print the response. So now let me run the case again. So run as JUnit test case. So the test case has started, and now you see it got passed. Let me invoke the console. You see now I was able to verify the content type is application/JSON. I have printed, and also I have printed the body message. Yeah, so this is the basic operation, guys. So in the upcoming lecture I'll have some more validations added for you, and the code that I've removed before so would be covered in my next lecture. So there is nothing wrong, you can do that way as well. So I hope you guys have understood this particular video. So let me just recap what we have done. So initially I have started the WireMock server manually, that is running in port number 8080, and then I have created a method create stub, and this is the snippet that is actually helping me to create a WireMock stub. I have explained you how to import statically the packages, this com.github.tomakehost.wiremock.client. So from this package, since every method is a static one, so I have a static import so that all methods have listed, and my class has the knowledge about them. So this stubfor method, if I were to explain you, this is a get call, and it is actually expecting the URL to be this one. When somebody reaches this particular endpoint with a get call, so I would return a status code of 200, and with this body message, and the content type that I'm going to serve is application/JSON. So that is my stub rule. And now in the rest assured part, so what we have done, we initially called that stub method. So when my JUnit test case runs, this method would be called, and when this method would be called, this particular stub would be created. And if you come down a bit, so I have set the rest assured.base URI, and so that my rest assured script will actually hit my local host. This is the where my WireMock is running, and given is the request specification, and this request specification I am enabling the log. I think you have seen in the console. Let me just quickly show you. So if you wanted to have a detail of your test case like this, like how I am showing right now, if you wanted to know what is the request method you have tried for, and what is the URI, and what are the parameters, headers, every information, if you want it to be printed in the console, you need to enable this request specification log all statement for sure. So that is what it has actually helped me. And when is basically pure English, in order to make sure that it works, it has a readability, I have this thing, and then I have performed a get, and this is the endpoint. I have passed the endpoint. So now this has actually given me a response. It is from the response class. Okay, these are the request and response are the classes from the rest assured. So you should have a knowledge of it. io.restassured.response is the class. So now response is a object, response type object. So there are specific methods like response.getStatusCode, response.getContentType, and response.prettyprint. So from the response object you can apply these methods. Like when I just do getStatusCode, it returns me an integer number with the status code. So you can see that my stub is actually returning a 200, and that 200 would be coming into my status code variable. And in the same way, the get content type is the method which will get the content type of that particular input message. Okay. And in the same way, if I wanted to print the response as is, like a JSON message, I can do a prettyprint method. So this is the whole that we have done, guys. In the upcoming lecture, I will explain you like how to read it from an external file, and we'll put some more operations as well. I hope this video has made some sense, and this is very good information for you guys. So thank you so much. Please subscribe to this channel so that you have information that I've pushed a video to this, and you can learn with me eventually. So thank you so much for listening me throughout. So you have a great rest of today.